on. Oh, shit. Easy. Lob it to me, guys. Come on. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode on the Crazy Sasquatch Show here. We even got our little mini helmets with his emblem on it. We're trying to get him in the pros, guys. We got his full-size helmet here. We're trying to get his merchandise with some mini helmets. Guys, you should have saw the workout video we had for the Sasquatch yesterday. We're trying to get him on the team. His running back abilities are awesome. Take a look at the video from yesterday, guys. Go to our YouTube channel or the Crazy Sasquatch Facebook page. He had a heck of a workout. You see his speed. I mean, his speed in the 40-yard dash is unreal. Big guy. Actually, he was doing pretty good catching yesterday, too. So watch that video. You'll love it, guys. Our Sasquatch. He's resting today. It really wore him out yesterday, so I don't think we'll see him in this episode. He was huffing and puffing. And you're 7 foot tall, and as big as he is running, what we put him through yesterday. But I think we can get him in the pros sooner or later.
And he said he wanted, if no team hired him as a player, he could be the owner, and he may switch this emblem for the Washington team.
The Washington Sasquatches. Hey.
And he'll be the owner and hire only other Sasquatches.
Talks about Super Bowl champs, guys. You got a Yeti, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, all these skunk ape. Man, he could have a whole team full of these guys, and if the other team could take them, but we'll see. Anyway, today's episode, we're going to do the top 10 wide receivers of the league. I'm going to kind of do them where I've been doing them based on who's around them, the quarterback, their team, their schedule. Brett, he kind of does them on simply their talent, how good they are, their talent basis. So we'll go through our top 10 for the 2020 season here. Wide receivers kind of tough. There's a lot of guys right there. I'll let Brett go through his guys that just missed the top 10. I'll go through my guys that just missed the top 10. And then we'll do our top 10 list. So first, Brett, go through your guys that didn't quite make the top 10. And we'll go from there.
So I have 6 players who barely missed the top 10. Marcus Brown. It was either him or my top 10 spot. I chose the person in my top 10 spot, my 10th spot. So it's Marcus Brown, Chris Godwin, Keenan Allen, Odell Beckham, and then T.Y. Hilton. I actually only wrote 2 names, and one name twice, so 5 players who just missed it. T.Y. Hilton, he is a very good player, but he's not as good as the players in my top 10 list. Odell Beckham, on a bad team, he was on the Giants, a bad team. He was looking like one of the best receivers in the league. When he was with a good team in the Browns, some people may say he's a bad team, but that offensive around him, he was that offense was very good. Maybe their quarterback was holding them back last year. He didn't do that good on a good team, and that's how you see a bad player. Some people may say that he's not a bad player, but if a player is good on a bad team and bad on a good team, he's either an average player or below average player. So he missed that list. Keenan Allen, everything he has on my top 10 list, everything he has, the people on my top 10 list just have a slightly better. Marcus Brown, he's a very good receiver. I just haven't saw that much of him. He was a rookie last year. And
Hollywood Brown, guys. Hollywood Brown.
And I really haven't saw that much of him when he played. He barely got past 2. I think he just went over 500 yards because of Lamar Jackson. So just because that I haven't seen him that much place, he wasn't or very good, but my top 10 spot barely beats him out just because he plays more and he looks slightly better on tape.
Okay, I'll do my guys just missed the list. I'm going to start down and go up. Calvin Ridley. Matt Ryan plays all year this year. Calvin Ridley, I think you got another wide receiver on that team that is in the top 10. So Ridley just missed it. Cooper Kupp, I think, is going to have a comeback year. He had a heck of a year a couple years ago. Injured last year. We'll see if he can make the comeback. That's the reason I didn't put him in the top 10. Let's see how he comes back. DJ Moore. Another guy who just barely missed it. Had some good numbers last year. We'll see what he can do. Mike Evans. Another team that's got two good wide receivers. Now you have Tom Brady throwing to him. The numbers should go up. We'll see. And then Brett was talking about Galladay. Galladay was my 11th spot. Galladay could go up.
I never mentioned it.
Galladay. Oh, he didn't mention Galladay. So, anyway, Galladay just missed my top 10. He could very well be in the top 8, 7. We'll see what happens with the Lions. Stafford has a good year. I mean, he had a heck of a year going last year, and then it kind of went downhill. Galladay's going to put up some numbers, but I have him just missing. It was hard not getting him in the top 10, but he just missed my cutoff. So that was my guys, my 5 that just missed the top 10. So now we'll get into our top 10 wide receivers for the 2020 season. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Mm-hmm.
Me. All right. Number 10 for me. I'll write him on the board. Brett did mention this guy. It was Odell Beckham. Okay, he had an abdominal injury last year. I think that's what slowed him down. Baker Mayfield, had a little bit of off season from, what they thought he could do when he came in as a rookie. I think Odell Beckham being healthy, if he can stay healthy, if Mayfield and him can get on the same page, Beckham, a couple years ago when he was with the Giants, he had some very good numbers. If he's healthy and him and Mayfield get on the same page, he is my number 10 pick on the top 10 list.
For my top 10, he might have spoiled it, but it's Kenny Galladay. Overall, he's a very good wide receiver. He was battling with Marcus Brown for the top 10 spot. I just see him better because his not experience, but he has played, I think, a little longer than Marcus Brown. He's a more bigger receiving back. Marcus Brown may be faster, but Galladay, overall, he's a very good wide receiver, and he barely fits in the top 10 in the 10th place.
Number 9, this guy's always been good, but he's never had quite that great quarterback to throw to him. Last year on Chicago Bears, Allen Robinson. Had over 1,000 yards receiving with not very good offense. He was their go-to guy, made some spectacular catches. If they can get either Trubisky or Foles, find that number 1 quarterback, and get that offensive line straightened up there with Allen Robinson, what he did last year. If they can get the quarterback, offensive line straightened up, he's going to have an even better year. So my number 9 pick is from the Chicago Bears, Allen Robinson.
For mine, 9, Amari Cooper. Comparing him to Kenny Galladay, he's just a bigger receiver and maybe a slightly faster receiver than him. He's more experienced. That's mostly why I put him in front of Galladay. He's more experienced. He's a bigger back. He's a veteran, and I see him slightly better than Kenny Galladay. But in a few years, I bet Kenny Galladay is going to be better than him. I just haven't seen that much of Galladay. I only saw 1 year of him when he was starting for the number 1 receiver for the Lions, and he had a backup quarterback.
All right, number 8. There's another team that had their quarterback hurt. This guy had a good year 2 years ago, off year last year, but when you got a rookie back at quarterback, that hurts. With Roethlisberger back in the picture here, Juju SmithSchuster is going to come back, have a heck of a year this year with a healthy Big Ben. Big Ben's got to stay healthy for this to happen, though, but I think they're going to try it. They got a heck of a defense there. Pittsburgh's going to probably make a run for the playoffs even more. Being Big Ben's probably only got a few years left to play. He's going to try to give it his all, and hopefully he stays healthy. If he stays healthy, expect big things out of Juju SmithSchuster.
I have Davante Adams from the Packers. He may get thrown the ball 90% of the game, but he's overall a very good quarterback. I think he is better than Amari Cooper and Kenny Galladay if he wasn't thrown to like 90% of the time. But I watched probably 75% of the Packer games. He gets thrown to about 90% of the time. Maybe if Aaron Rodgers maybe passes the other receivers maybe 50% of the time, he would actually get wide open instead of double coverage every single game. But he still catches the ball, makes big plays, and I think he is better than Amari Cooper and Kenny Galladay. And I'm going to compare him to another receiver in my 7th spot.
Okay, going into the 7th spot, my guy is on Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin. Yes, there's another good wide receiver on this team with Evans, but Godwin's gonna have better numbers. Now you got Tom Brady throwing to him. What's that gonna do? Could be big things. We'll see. His numbers aren't gonna go down from what it was Winston throwing to him compared to Hall of Famer Brady throwing to him. So I have Chris Godwin as number 7. Him and Brady, yes, gotta get on the same page. Get their route timing and everything down. But when you got a veteran quarterback throwing and you got somebody else take the pressure off on the other side of the field, I see Godwin having a heck of a year.
And at the 7th spot,
close enough. Still
is it with an I?
Yeah.
I have Allen Robinson. I said I would compare him to the number 7 spot. So Davante Adams, Allen Robinson. Comparing the two, Allen Robinson bigger, maybe Davante Adams slightly faster, but see who's throwing them the ball. Davante Adams had Aaron Rodgers for his whole career, and then Allen Robinson had Mitchell Trubisky, Daniel Jones, and Blake Bortles, and they still have equal stats, or they either have close to equal stats, or Allen Robinson have way better stats. Allen Robinson broke, I think, 1,200 yards last year, and Davante Adams just missed 1,000 yards, even though he gets the ball about 90% of the time from Aaron Rodgers. And comparing just the quarterbacks he's throwing the ball, and Allen Robinson has better stats, this tells it all. If the rules were reversed and Allen Robinson had a good quarterback and Davante Adams would have a bad quarterback, I think Allen Robinson's stats and Davante Adams' stats will just go the opposite way. Allen Robinson's stats will go up, and then Davante Adams will go down. And I see Allen Robinson better than Davante Adams just because the quarterback play that they got, the quarterbacks throw to them.
All right, number 6 spot, guys. Number 6, he lost his teammate on the other side. Stefon Diggs is no longer in Minnesota. So Thielen is going to probably get the ball a little bit more until their rookie they just picked up can get in timing with the quarterback there, Kirk Cousins. I don't have any rookie wide receivers on my top 10, guys. It's just the way the season is with no preseason games, the quarterbacks and their timing with their wide receiver and their routes and everything like that. A rookie wide receiver this year is going to be really tough to get going because of the speed of the game, the timing. Wide receiver rookie this year is going to be very tough to. You got to get going in the league because of the lack of the preseason games of getting used to the speed of the NFL. So it's going to be a little bit for the rookie draft pick that Minnesota picked up. So they're going to lean on Thielen a little bit more, I think, beginning of the season and throughout the season. So Thielen is my number 6 pick.
And I have Stefon Diggs, the former Vikings number 1 receiver. He's just an overall good wide receiver. And when I said like the quarterback play for Allen Robinson, Stefon Diggs really hasn't gotten good quarterback play. Kirk Cousins And then I can't think of the name, but in 2017 and 18, the quarterback they had then, forgot who his name is, but I don't think he's that good. Kirk Cousins, he had a bad year and then a good year. Now he's going to a team which has a good quarterback. He's overall a very good quarterback. I think he is better than the players below him. Comparing them, he's faster than him. I think he's a little faster than him. He may be not as big as Allen Robinson and Cooper and Galladay, but he catches almost everything that comes his way. Even if it's a poor ball placement by their quarterback, I still think he catches like 90% of the balls that go to him, and I think he's barely above Allen Robinson.
Hey, number 5. Go back to Diggs. One reason Diggs didn't make it for me because he is switching teams, and Josh Allen's the quarterback for Buffalo. Timing wise, they gotta get the timing. So that's Diggs. I agree. He's up there. He's gonna be a very good player. Just not my top 10 this year anyway. Number 5, a guy that has been on the same team for a while with the same quarterback, that has another wide receiver on the team, and Calvin Ridley to take the pressure off. Julio Jones. He's been dinged up the last year or so. Still puts up some good numbers. I think Julio Jones is going to have a good year this year. Matt Ryan and him, and with their offense, I think that he can be double teamed, but then you're leaving Calvin Ridley open. Teams can't, unlike Brett was saying with Davante Adams, teams can double team him pretty easy because there's not a legitimate number 2 wide receiver. Atlanta has that legitimate number 2 wide receiver taking some of the pressure off. So Julio Jones is my number 5 on my list.
I have Tyreek Hill off the Kansas City Chiefs. He's probably one of the fastest players I've ever saw. Maybe Cohen is faster, but I think he's slightly faster than him. Comparing him to the one before, I'm just going to compare each player to the one before or several before. But Tyreek Hill compared to Stefon Diggs. Tyreek Hill, this is quickness alone. He can get wide open. Nobody's as fast as him on defense. And he can just get wide open, get a pass to him, and he gets a wide open play, and he gets scored touchdowns. He may not be a tall or big wide receiver, but his speed makes up for that, more than enough of it. He gets wide open, and then just because of speed, he deserves to be in the top 5 because this is speed alone. He can be wide open every single play if he's not double covered.
My number 4 guy switched teams over the offseason. He was with the Houston Texans. He is now with the Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins. Going to Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, I don't know if this is going to throw as much as what the Texans team did. I just don't see him having the numbers this year right away anyway. I mean, he was their go-to guy in Texas. I don't know if Hopkins is going to... He should be their number 1 and go-to guy in Cardinals, but you got Larry Fitzgerald. You got some other guys that have been there. I just don't see his numbers being quite what they were in Houston this year anyway. Maybe down the road we'll see as Kyler Murray, advances. But right now, for this year, for 2020, I got Hopkins as my 4th.
For my 4th, I have Mike Evans. He's going to be getting the ball from Tom Brady, comparing him to the one before. Tyreek Hill. He may be not as fast. He's definitely not as fast as Tyreek Hill, but he's super tall. He can catch every single ball going his way. He can jump over people to catch the ball. I see him better than all of these receivers. He may be a step above Allen Robinson. He's bigger than Allen Robinson. He's, I think, a little faster than Allen Robinson. He may catch a little better, but he deserves to be number 4 because I think he is better than everyone else on this list.
Okay, number 3. Brett's already got this guy in the top 10. I got him as my 3rd one. Davante Adams of Green Bay. He's fallen a little bit for me. Yeah, he's Green Bay's. He's Aaron Rodgers' go-to guy. That means he's going to get double teamed because they don't have a legitimate number 2 really that stepped up. So he's double teamed. Yes, he makes some good catches. He's going to have to. Aaron Rodgers gets him the ball in tight spots because he has to. There's not a number 2 really wide receiver that's taking the pressure off. Their coaching staff there is now more of a 50-50 run pass offense. That knocks his numbers down a little bit more. So between the coaching, they didn't help him out in the draft at all this year, getting another wide receiver. Funchess, who they picked up during the offseason, is opting out of this season because of the COVID-19. So you don't have him coming in to help out. So that, Adams is a very good wide receiver along with a veteran quarterback. I can't put him as my number 1 or 2 simply because of the position, the reasons I just mentioned. So number 3 for Adams.
And I have DeAndre Hopkins. In multiple videos, I always said he is the 3rd best receiver in the league, and yet he definitely is. He definitely deserves a top 3. He can catch any single ball thrown his way. There was one clip that was spread around the internet where he juggled the ball in the end zone and barely got his 2 feet inside, and a person hit him before, and a person, I think it was the Chargers game, I'm not sure about that, he tried pushing him out of bounds, but he still caught it. And that's like most of his catches. He can catch anything going his way. That's probably the same thing I'm going to say for these 2 guys. But he's better than all of these guys. He maybe not have the he's a quick receiver. He's not a big receiver, but he can he is in my top 3, and he's definitely one of the best receivers in the league.
Number 2, guys, number 2. Tyreek Hill. Catch it out of the back, take off like a running back, and catch it down the field. Very, very fast. Mahomes does a good job getting the ball. Their offense, yes, their offense revolves around Mahomes, but I think a lot of it goes around Hill also with being the wide receiver he is with a little bit of a hybrid running back in him. To put up the numbers, has the speed to break away, has the quickness, has the agility, has the offense around him to take the pressure off. Or if they want to throw it to the tight end, they want to throw it to another wide receiver, or running backs. They have a complete offense there where not everybody can focus just right on him. When he does get the ball done, he can take off and do things with it. So number 2 for me is Tyreek Hill.
And I just switched the guy that was in my front spot to 2nd, and that's
put H in there. There we go.
Michael Thomas from the New Orleans Saints. He's just a step above Mike Evans. He has more experience. I think he's slightly taller. Somehow he gets open like almost every single play, and if he can't, he can just jump over people or just raise his arms in the air and catch the ball. He is the one step ahead in skill above Mike Evans, as Mike Evans is one step above as Allen Robinson. But Michael Thomas, he was my first, but he used to be my first best receiver on this list, but then I put him down to 2, and my person at 2 got to 1. But I think he definitely deserves 1 or 2 in the league, but I think he is better than all these receivers.
All right, down to my number 1. Brett just mentioned him, Michael Thomas. Excellent ball player, can get open on routes, can jump. Him and Drew Brees are always on the same page, it seems like. Played together for a long time. Brees, you got a quarterback that's very accurate, getting the wide receiver the ball. What's going to help Michael Thomas this year? They picked up a really good number 2 wide receiver in Emmanuel Sanders. Going to take some of the pressure off Thomas, I think, a little bit, which will help out his numbers even more. Yes, Emmanuel Sanders may take a few numbers from him, but I think overall they're going to have a very high-potent, high-scoring offense, and I think Thomas is going to benefit a lot of that. I said coming back with the core guys plus another decent wide receiver on the team. Going to be a very interesting team to watch. Drew Brees is going to want to win it all this year. We'll see if he does. I think he's going to got a year or two to play left, and I think he's going to want to go out on top, and they're going to try to do everything they can to beat everybody this year, and Thomas is going to benefit those numbers greatly. So, number 1, Michael Thomas.
For my number 1, which he was my number 2, then I switched him to 1, is Julio Jones. I can't say this with anyone else on this list, but he's a big back, he's a fast back, he's tall, I'm a receiver, he's a big receiver, he's a fast receiver, and a tall receiver. Nobody else on my list can probably fit that description. Maybe Allen Robinson or maybe Cooper, but Julio Jones, like I said with Mike Evans, he catches everything that goes his way. He is another receiver, so he won't get double covered every single play. He can run fast, not as fast as Tyreek Hill on mine, but he's definitely a fast receiver. He's a tall receiver, and he just gets open. He's a veteran, and I think he deserves the number 1 spot.
So, guys, there's our top 10 for our 2020 season, plus the few guys that missed the list. A couple days ago, I believe it was yesterday, it was before the Sasquatch did his workout video. We did the running backs, and then the day before that we did quarterbacks. So tomorrow we'll try to get tight ends, the top 10 tight ends of the league. You know, the top 3 or 4 tight ends are pretty easy. The next 5 or 6 tight ends, it's going to be a tough call on some of these guys. Some of them switch teams, got switch quarterbacks. So there was a couple of decent tight ends drafted in the league this year. Like I said, a few of them switched teams. So we'll do tight ends tomorrow, and I think we'll try to do the top 10, our top 10 defenses this year with who we think is going to have the top defenses of the year. You know, there have been a lot of changes on defensive players this year of guys switching teams. There's still a few free agents out there like Javon Clowney. We're not sure where he's going yet. There might be a few trades yet in the next 3 weeks before season starts. So expect another episode for tight ends and then defenses. So I hope you enjoy our discussions here, guys, our predictions. If you like us, subscribe to us, like our videos. Definitely go back and watch Sasquatch's tryout video yesterday as a running back. You guys are going to be amazed what he can do, plus you'll laugh your ass off. So anyway, here's our top 10 wide receivers. I hope you like watching us. The Crazy Sasquatch football channel. We'll see you guys next time. Anything else to say? No? All right. We're out of here, guys.